Hello everybody, this is Marquita with Culinary Creations. I'm not going to be long. I'm not even going to wait for people to get on my live because I just feel like I want to get to the point, and I feel like with any video you should get straight to the point. So today I am going to discuss pre-diabetes or gestational diabetes when you're pregnant. If you follow me on YouTube, if you follow me on Instagram at Culinary Creations with a Q, you will learn about my experience about being pregnant and all the challenges that there are when you're pregnant, whether it be diabetes, low iron, maybe you're overweight, maybe you're going through depression. Those are things that I'm going to go and talk to you all about as I progress through pregnancy. So quickly, this is my third child. I want to say a little less than a year ago I had an ectopic pregnancy, so I am grateful and blessed that God has blessed us with a healthy pregnancy. And quickly, before I show you all how I go through testing my blood, a quick backstory. I thank God that right now we're currently expecting, because like over a year and a half ago I was feeling pain, had the ectopic pregnancy, still went to work. And I just want to stress the importance of listening to your body and also getting proper medical help and advice, and not just seeking advice from family and friends, because we can put our bodies in a life or death situation. No matter if you're pregnant, if you are just a normal person, we all go through things. So it's important to listen to your body. So today I'm going to show you all how I take my blood. So I have never had so-called diabetes before. I've been pre-diabetic in 2000, I think it was 2012. I was coming from Charlotte, North Carolina from college. I didn't gain the freshman 15. I gained the freshman 1,000 pounds. It seems like I was eating uncontrollably. I was eating a lot of carbs, pop. You know, the cafeteria food was not the best. So I wasn't making the best decisions, right? So I was pre-diabetic years ago. I lost over 60 to 80 pounds. It's been a while. I don't remember the number. And I got my sugars under control. So it's a little more challenging when you're pregnant. I'm 29 weeks along in my third trimester. You can't just lose weight, but I can keep my sugars in control. So I'm going to show you this little contraption that they gave me. And why I'm showing you all this video is because for me, this was not intuitive. I'm a very hands-on, very visual learner. So got this little cute little black case that you can carry with you. So it has a little meter. What are these called? Little one-touch strips. And this is basically the needle system. It comes separately with these beautiful, nice alcohol pads. Of course, so to make sure when you're injecting yourself, or not injecting yourself, but taking your blood, that is sanitary and is clean. And then also I got a big old box full of what they called lancets. Lancets are little mini needles, and I'm sure for those of you who have diabetes, whether it's type 1 or type 2, I'm not sure if the process is different, but over the years they have really made things a little bit more compact. I don't care if you see my first and last name, nothing too serious, but just lancets. Excuse me. They look like these little, to me they look almost like mini pregnancy tests. But I'm going to show you all how to use this, and this is what I do on a daily basis right now to make sure my sugar stays in level, because in pregnancy, that's why it's important for us as Black people, as women, minorities, to go to the doctor, because there's so many illnesses that are preventable, and if we don't go to the doctor, we are putting ourselves in danger. So first things first, and I'm working on a paper towel, a clean paper towel, and a clean surface. First things first, sanitize your skin. So I've already washed my hands. That's the first thing you need to do. Second thing you need to do, after you wash your hands, you dry your hands. Open up your alcohol pad, and I'm going to wipe off, let me see, my pointer finger. Okay? I'm going to let it dry a little bit. I'm going to prepare my medical scene as if I was a nurse. My mom always wanted me to go into nursing. When I was in high school, I was not interested This is no offense to anybody out there, but for me, when I was in high school, I felt like everybody wanted to get into the medical field, and it just wasn't for me. I love taking care of people. I love being nice, but it's just not for me. So this is the introduction, Miss Charles, Myrna Charles, for nursing. This is as close as I'm going to get. But I took everything out the case, took the meter out, took the little injection needle. I'm going to show you all how I take my blood. So in this little black case, the One Touch Ultra comes with 50 test strips. Inside, here are the little strips, and they have 3 lines on them. You're going to put these 3 lines facing you inside of the meter. Right? Meter comes on automatically. I've already gone through the process of making sure it's calibrated and all those different things, setting the time, the date. That's not necessary. Not going to go through that today on this video. But if you all want more information, I'm glad to help anyone. Because like I said, for me, it wasn't intuitive. The first couple times I messed up. I tried to take this off and poke myself. It was just a mess. So I'm going to screw the lid off. This is called the One Touch Delica Plus. Screw it off. It has a little, it's probably hard to see. You can see it a little bit. It has a little sign for you to screw this off. It's empty right now. Okay. I'm going to put the lancet that I discussed earlier inside. It made a little clicking sound. If it does not make a clicking sound, that means that this has not retracted back, which means basically if you push this green button right here, that you're not going to be able to get a good poke. Listen, Nicole, talking about looking all the way. Let's go. Hopefully none of you have to experience what I'm going through right now, especially being pregnant. It's kind of irritating having to take your blood. It's unexpected, but we got to do what we got to do to protect our health and to protect our children. I put the lid back on. I don't know if you saw that. Put it on, pop it back on. Careful not to poke your fingers. All right, now what I'm gonna do, if you didn't hear that click the first time, I'm gonna slide this up just to make sure. There's also a dial right here. It's hard to see, but when this comes in the box, this number right here is usually set on 3 or 4. 3 or 4 means it's a low pressure. So when you're going to poke your finger, for me, it's definitely too low. So my blood never came out. I have had to put this thing on the highest setting to make sure my blood comes out my finger. And that's very important. You don't want to overstick your finger. Once again, cross-contamination. And then also, who wants to keep poking their finger over and over and over? It's going to cause swelling. So I'm going to wipe my finger one more time. So I've been touching a couple things while I've been on camera. I'm going to take this out and put it back in the meter because it turned off. And then right here, here's the collection sample. I'm going to poke my finger and I'm going to put this part right here up to the blood. So I've sprung this back. I'm going to poke my finger. This is on 7, the highest setting. Oh, I don't think I pushed it back all the way. All right, poke my finger, right? Needle still intact. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit. I guess if this is graphic for anybody, turn away, log off. It's not like I'm gushing out blood. I'm gonna squeeze my finger gently and allow a little bit of blood to pool into a circle. And as you can see, it went from nothing to a little bit more. Little fun fact about me, I am O positive. Don't know how I became O positive. I don't even know my parents' blood type or my children's blood type, which is kind of sad, but I need to find that out one day. But I never knew that unless I donated blood back in high school. So you need a little bit of blood on your finger. Don't think and say like, oh my gosh, like I just need a little bit. No, because what's going to happen is by the time you need to take your sample. If you don't have enough blood on your finger, it's going to read as an error. And then now you're wasting testing strips. So here's the blood. You see this little yellow part. I'm going to hold that up. Might be a little hard, but I'm going to hold it up to the yellow part, and it's going to count down. 3, 2, 1. Now, 142. That's pretty high. But even though that is pretty high, I just ate some Burger King and had a diet, what did I have? A diet root beer. What is that? What is a diet root beer? I don't, oh, Dr. Pepper. See, I just dropped the alcohol swab. But I just had a diet Dr. Pepper and a Whopper and a fry. That is not the best food options to have when you are expecting, right? But because my sugars have been stable, I know what to do to make sure my sugars are lower throughout the day, which means I'm not going to eat a whole bunch of bread. I'm not going to drink any pop. I'm going to drink a whole bunch of water, and I'm going to eat a lot of vegetables and fruits that are low in sugar. So what I do when I look at the number 142, it gives you your time and date. So I have a little nifty journal that I got from CVS that I use every day to take the time and the date and the results of what is saying on the display meter. And then I also, for myself, I write and describe what I ate. The doctor doesn't need that information, but just being the fact that I've been in culinary nutrition, I like to know what I've eaten so that I know what not to eat again to prevent myself from spiking my sugar too high. So today's date is 1/29/2021. The time is 12:25 p.m. and my sugar's at 142 milligrams per deciliter. And like I said, that's pretty high, but I just ate. So I think the goal is to make sure your sugars are below 180 if you're taking like a 3-hour glucose test. And I'm just showing you all how I keep record. If any of you ever have to be in a situation and you have to test your sugar, being a pregnant woman, this is how I stay organized. It's this handy dandy journal, and I do a brief description of what I ate. So literally, I did not eat breakfast this morning. My first meal was like 11. What was my first meal? 12. I think I finished my first meal at 12:30, and that's when I had the Burger King. So that's why my sugar has spiked up. So I had a Burger King meal, Whopper. I'm gonna write that down on here. I had a diet Dr. Pepper, and I had a small fry, and I actually ate 2 of Pedro's chicken fingers. Okay, that's not healthy. A balanced breakfast for anyone shouldn't be carb heavy. It should contain proteins. It should contain fruits that are low in sugar, that are not high glycemic. So when you talk about high glycemic, that means fruits that are gonna, you don't want fruits that are gonna spike your sugar. They're the fruits that are low in sugar that don't spike your sugar as fast. So for example, that can be berries. That can be not dried fruit. Don't get it confused. Dried fruit spikes your sugar really high. So that's raisins, cranberries. You want stuff that blackberries, blueberries, strawberries that are going to slowly bring your sugars up. Another good thing for breakfast is eggs, bacon, things like that. I don't have high cholesterol, so I don't have to worry about fat content. So how do I clean this all up? I'm going to take this contaminated sample out. You can see his blood still in there. Don't need that. Put it on my little napkin. Put this back into the little handy dandy package. Pop that in there. Don't forget that this still has the needle in there. So I'm gonna get to this last. I'm gonna put these test strips back in. Put it in the bag. It's a little, whatever it is, a little handy dandy wanger janger for the one test strip. Somebody's calling me. I'm going to decline you because I will call you back. Now look, I didn't throw this away earlier. This is the bottom, or whatever, the bottom to the lancet. I'm going to use this. It has a small little circle, hard to see. It has a small little circle right there. Then I'm going to push this contaminated needle into, and that's why it's very, very important not to share your needles, your testing strips. You can donate those and get money for them, but like, just be very cautious and be careful. But not sure about lancets, if you can get a refund for these if you don't use all of them, but you should never share your needles or the what is this called, the One Touch Delica Plus. You should never share these because of the potential for pathogens and spreading bacteria. So I'm gonna twist this off. Be careful not to poke your finger. I have the base of the lancets. Now, I would prefer or suggest that you all put this on a flat surface, not up in the air, but just for showing you all. You will press this in here softly. If I was on a flat surface, it was a little easier. You heard it click. If you didn't, that's all right. And if I was on a flat surface, I would just slowly push this thing right here down. So this goes up and down, right? So, because I'm holding it up in the air, I'm just show you. Look, it is in my hand safely. I have now discarded of a contaminant that has blood and skin cells and all those different things safely. So now all I have to do is wrap everything up, pop my lid back on, and I like to wipe this back off with a clean alcohol pad sometimes too, because when I have not poked my finger properly, sometimes I'll get blood. That's why you shouldn't use these or share these. Sometimes I'll get blood on the inside. And I'm going to pop this back in. Handy dandy wandy. You could take this little buddy around with you in your purse on vacation. I like that. It's very compact. And I'm going to fold up my paper towel. And that's it. That's how I take my blood every day. So for right now, my blood sugars are pretty good. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and my sugars have stayed between, I want to say the average 100 to 135 after eating. Most of the times when I fast, meaning I don't eat after 12 o'clock at night. D'Angelo, go off then. But seriously, I don't eat after 12 o'clock to make sure I know if I eat after midnight, I'm going to spike my sugar for the next day. And you shouldn't anyways. If you're going to do a fasting, you shouldn't eat after midnight. If you have any cravings, drink some water. I'm not sure if lemon is okay. It should be, you know, because there's no carbs in it, but drink some water with lemon. And I take my fasting as soon as I wake up in the morning. So I take my sugar, everything you just saw, that's what I do. And then I eat breakfast. After I eat breakfast, I have to wait 2 hours. After I take a 2-hour waiting period of eating a meal, I take my sugar again, and that gives me a more understanding of how my sugars have spiked from me not eating from, you know, the time I went to bed and woke up the next day, and then after a meal. So thank God right now, everything is pretty good. My blood has been consistent. And just a hint for anybody out there, if you are pre-diabetic, if you're diabetic, if you are overweight, which I am, so don't feel bad. Just take one day at a time. Don't get hard on yourself if you accidentally eat something and it spikes your sugar to 200. You know, what are you going to do? Cry? No. Like, the best thing to do is what are you going to do to make your next meal or your next decision a better decision? So for me, what I have done, I have cut out as much bread as I can. I have not eaten too many potatoes. I have not eaten any potato chips. Today was the first time I had pop or soda in, I want to say, 2 weeks, since I was told that I have to take my blood every day. Another thing, I have increased my water intake. Even though I'm pregnant, I'm supposed to increase fluids. I don't always want to drink water. So what I've done is I've been drinking sparkling water, water with lemon, water with lime. If I want something sweet, let's see, do I have some here? These are very good, but some of these, what is this called? RW nuts, and some of these drinks are very high in sugar. Even though they're natural fruits have natural sugar. So if I am really thirsty and want something sugary, what I do is I dilute it. In the beginning of my pregnancy, I had a lot of nausea, so I was drinking like Gatorade, and I'm sure that spiked my sugar as well. But dilute your drinks. If you're going to drink a pop, drink something with low sugar diet. I don't believe in diet drinks, but it's better than drinking the full sugar product. When it comes to breakfast, try to eat as much protein as you can. So cut out those hash browns in the morning, the toast, the cereal, which is very high in sugar. Have an avocado with olive oil, salt and pepper, and Cajun seasoning. Or for lunch, you can have chicken salad without the bread, no pasta. Those are things that I've been trying to incorporate into my diet. And then finally for dinner, what I do is try to incorporate more protein, more vegetables. So that's asparagus, Brussels sprouts. I'm trying to think of other vegetables, green beans, coleslaw, those things, and not adding sugar to it, or just a little bit of mayonnaise and adding more vinegar. And for a dessert, lastly, what I will try to do, I have bought some sugar-free caramel candies. I don't know where they are, but sugar-free candy, 1 or 2, instead of eating like 5 or 6. That's me. I'm going to eat a bag of Skittles. I'm going to eat I'm going to eat a whole thing of Starburst. That's why I'm in this predicament. But I'm just trying to help you guys. I'm trying to help myself. I'm not craving ice cream, but finally found some keto ice cream. I'm trying to think of another good healthy dessert. Fruits that are low in sugar. That's what I've been eating. So blackberries, I usually eat a small, like a 1/4 cup. A small chunk of watermelon. I'm trying to think what else. And strawberries. That's usually my go-to dessert. So I hope this encourages someone out there. If you're going through diabetes, you know someone that has diabetes, don't just brush it off your shoulder. It is a challenge, especially being pregnant, because I want what I want when I want it. But I also have to take care of myself, and I have to take care of my child that is growing in my womb. So take things seriously, folks. Apparently I must not have, or just wasn't thinking about it too much. And I hope you don't get to this point, but if you do, I hope this video was very informative. Please follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram at Culinary Creations with a Q. I not only have videos for recipes, but I have short discussions and all different types of miscellaneous things, pictures of foods and things just like that. So you all have a blessed day. Thank you for listening in, and I will talk to you all soon.